I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. This is a great event. I love seeing all of you out here in the audience. A huge thank you to all of you, and a huge thank you to our candidates, taking time out of your busy schedules and your busy night to come here to help educate our voters so they know walking into the booth in November or early voting in 2 weeks on October 14th, they feel that they are well informed about the people who want to lead our community. So thank you all so much for being here. This is, of course, the Houston County NAACP candidate meet and greet. This is for all of Houston County. So we have candidates from Centerville, from Perry, and Warner Robins. So thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to lay just a couple of ground rules, if you will. This isn't a debate. This is just talking about yourself, the things that are important to you, where you stand on certain issues. So it's a nonpartisan event, like I said, hosted by the Houston County NAACP, Branch 5203. The mission is very simple: to educate, engage, and empower every voter in this room. So by the time you leave, you'll be informed and ready to make your voice heard. It's going to be a fun night, too, because we have a musical guest, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And we have some fantastic food. And speaking of which, just want to do a real quick shout out to all the folks who made tonight possible. Houston County NAACP branch, First Baptist Church, Warner Robins for our venue partner, Sharon's Flower House, J&A Food on the Go, the Greek Village Restaurant, M&J Event Services, Green Street Alumni, you can see with the green shirts on, thank you so much, the Spartan Security Group, Texas Roadhouse, Buffalo Wild Wings, Marco's Pizza, Crumble Cookie, Shannon Burrow Food Truck, and Wild Wing Cafe. So there's a lot of hands doing some heavy lifting tonight. And I got to tell you, local elections are so important. I know the big national elections, they kind of get all the headlines and all, but this is about our community, okay? This is about where we live and the issues that are important to us and how we want to see our communities tackle problems, prepare for the future. So really, I would argue that these elections are really the most important, okay? Because this affects us day in and day out. We have so many people out here, not only from Houston County. I know we have folks from Bibb County. We have folks on the gubernatorial level here. So once we get started, each candidate will have 6 minutes to kind of give their spiel, whatever they'd like to talk about themselves, where they stand on the issues. After each person has spoken, we're going to have time for just 2 questions. So be thinking of any questions you might have, and we'll have from the audience. And after we get done with that, we'll bring up the next panel, and then we have a total of 3 panels. And then at the end of that, we will kind of wrap things up. We'll have our musical guests, and that'll also be a great time to get something to eat. And around the perimeter, you'll see some tables with some of the candidate information. You can stop by and even get more one-on-one. This is pretty extraordinary that you're able to meet your candidates one-on-one. This doesn't happen in every community. So make sure you take advantage of that. So to get us started, we would like Pastor Josh B. Curvin, if you could please come to the podium. Thank you so much for opening up your beautiful church to us.
Thank you. Welcome. Let's do what I love to do, which is pray. Dear God, as we come before you this evening, recognizing you for who you are, for you are King of Kings, Lord of Lords. You're the God of creation, the God who gives life, God who sustains life, and the God who removes us from this life into eternal life. We ask that you would bless this gathering of concerned citizens, participants in the political process, as afforded us as citizens of these United States of America. We thank you, our Father, for those persons who have offered themselves as servants of the people of the municipalities represented here. It is my prayer that each elected official, each candidate for office, will conduct themselves with integrity that cannot be sullied by the desire for financial gain, nor by the unfettered and unrestrained lust for power. Lord, I pray that you would give us servant leaders who will choose honesty, justice, and righteousness over deception, corruption, and self-interest. Lord, as I close this prayer, I ask humbly, yet boldly, do a God thing in these elections. Not a Republican thing, but a God thing. Not a Democrat thing, but a God thing. Not an independent thing, but a God thing. This is my prayer this evening, made in the matchless, magnanimous, magnificent, and majestic mighty name of Jesus the Christ, I pray. Let the church say amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Okay, so it is time to get started. My lovely assistant will give our mic to our first candidate, and if you could just hold on a second, we're going to start the clock. 6 minutes, candidates. 6 minutes, candidates. If you don't fill the entire 6 minutes, that's fine. We just ask that you not go over 6 minutes, and I will give you one when you have 1 minute left. All right? Okay, and there we go.
Hi, my name is Robert Bob Bird. I am the current council member for Post 1 in Centerville. We've accomplished a lot in the 4 years plus that I have been on the council. We have built a new fire station. We have installed a splash pad and a new playground with sensory things for the disabled children. We have raised our salary and our number of officers for our fire department and police department. We have done a fairly decent job of keeping our taxes low. We've only raised taxes, I believe, 2 out of the 5 years that I have been a part of that decision. And we've experienced just a ton of growth. Hundreds of new homes built, many new businesses coming in. That helps bring in more revenue for the city and makes the city a more attractive place. What I would like to do in the next 4 years, we have a plan for a city center that's going to bring in businesses and have mixed-use buildings where we have retail and then housing above. I would love to see that plan continue. I would like to focus even more on public safety, bringing another increase in our police and fire protection for all the new homes and businesses that we have added, and just other perks and amenities for the citizens of Centerville. I believe one of the next projects we're going to be implementing will be an amphitheater in our Center Park. So I would love to have your vote to continue the work that we've been doing for the past 4 years. And at that point, I would turn it over for questions.
Actually, we're going to go ahead and have everyone speak.
Absolutely.
And then at that point, once everyone is done, we'll take 2 questions from the audience. Okay?
Well, good evening. That might be a good cue that my day job is I pastor a church, so I have a little bit louder speaking voice. That might can hold this down here. You can probably still hear me just fine. I'm glad Lori's here tonight. Thank you for being here. I've almost forgiven 13 for passing me over for junior journalist in 1997. They said I didn't have a strong enough speaking voice. I think I've recovered. And I'll keep it well below 6 minutes. My name is Justin Wright. I've served 2 terms on Centerville City Council, and I'm glad to serve a 3rd term beginning in January of this year. I'm going to reserve most of my time for the candidates that need the time to make sure they can earn your vote tonight. I would just say that it is a privilege to continue to serve our neighbors and the people that we live by. And as Lori alluded to earlier, it is the national elections get most of our attention. But let your city council member put in a red light where you wish there wasn't a red light. And you have to drive past it to work every day for the rest of your life. You will think about that a lot more than you think about anything that happens in national elections, I promise. Historically in the state of Georgia, the lowest turnout elections are municipal elections. So my challenge to you would be, and you're already here tonight, I appreciate you coming and paying attention. My challenge to you would be to make sure that you vote and take a couple of people with you, because we need to see the turnout in these elections get higher and higher and higher. Thank you so much. You guys have a great evening. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Logan Cowperthwaite. I'm one of the candidates for Centerville City Council Post 3. You look up here, I'm young. I'm 25. I have 5 kids, beautiful wife at the house, handling business there. Super mom. Things I'd like to see different in the city is transparency between the citizens of the city and the city council. I think there's times when there's questions asked and there's not a clear and concise answer that's given to the citizens, and they deserve a much easier answer than just being told a political answer at times. There's other times when they do a wonderful job, thank you, Councilman Burden, Councilman Wright, on those times. But it's the times on hard questions, automatic gunfire, homelessness, and this is just 2 issues, and that's what got me fired up and wanting to run so I can help solve issues. In my daytime job, I'm a mechanic. I find solutions, I make it work. Next issue, public safety. Our officers revolve in and out of the police station every roughly 2 years. They come in, they do their training, they're there for 2 years, and they bounce. They bounce because we don't pay them enough. We're one of the lowest paying police stations in the area, and that needs to change. We need to work with the city of Warner Robins, the city of Perry, and Houston County to sit down and come up with a closer, more just even round number. This way they're not going from one department to the next every couple months. And the last answer, or last point that I want to bring up is growth. We have good, healthy growth going on residentially. We're adding roughly 1,000 homes in the next 4 years. That's wonderful. That brings in, property taxes to help fund for those issues, such as police pay and fire department pay, and for paying for anything else we might need in the city. And like Councilman Wright said, I challenge you, get out and vote. Take 5 people with you. 5. We would be amazed at how much people don't vote in the city. I think there was a total of roughly 900 that voted in Centerville this past summer. I want to see that number double. I want to see it triple. There's 8,500 people in Centerville, and there's how many in Warner Robins? About 85,000? About 85,000 in Warner Robins. I guarantee about a quarter of that can at least vote. I'd love to see that number be in the 20,000s for votes, or more. So, thank you for your time. Again, my name is Logan Cowperthwaite, and I'm running for Centerville City Council Post 3.
Thank you, Logan. Good evening, everyone. My name is Valicia Lisa Lowe. For the past 16 years, I've been the CEO and executive director for a nonprofit organization. For 8 years prior to that, I was an accountant for the Macon Housing Authority. And so I will say also thank you. I'm almost 55 and young. I have a 6-year-old goddaughter and a 3-year-old granddaughter that helps make sure that I am as well. I am a Houston County native. Shortly after graduating from Georgia Southern, I came back home. I bought a home in Centerville. I've been there for 25 years. One of the first things I did when I moved to Centerville was I tried to find a way to be a part of my community, because that's what I do. When I was in elementary school, I was a Girl Scout. I wanted to learn about how to recycle and learn about my community. When I was in junior high school, I volunteered. Wherever I was, I wanted to know what the community needs were and be a part of the solution. When I went to Georgia Southern, the same thing. Yes, not everybody at Georgia Southern parties. They party and also have, do some impact. So a group of friends and we made sure, not just one year, but all the times we were at Georgia Southern, that we were involved in the community center, putting on things for other people there and the kids in that area. So fast forward on to coming to Centerville. When I looked around Centerville, I saw a small group of people. They were with Keep Centerville Beautiful. It was about maybe 6 or 7 of us, 25 years ago. We would meet in one of the rooms to the side in City Hall. And so we found ways, we strategized ways to help recognize people who took pride in where they lived, and also how we could make sure that our community looked good. And so as Centerville has grown, one of my things I would love to see is the reestablishment of the Keep Centerville Beautiful Committee, because it's important. If you don't like where you look and the way it looks, you'll want to leave. So a couple of just because the screen went out, I want to make sure I'm on time. A couple of my priorities are, one, as we said earlier, public safety. If you don't feel comfortable where you live, if you don't feel safe where you live, you'll want to move from where you live. And so I want to help ensure that we have the resources available to ensure that our crime is low and our neighborhoods is safe. So in part of what I do in my work, I do capacity building, I do strategic planning, I'm a grant writer. Throughout the course of my career, I've secured hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants. I like to do that for the city of Centerville as well. Another thing is the quality of life. Again, if you don't like where you live, you don't want to live there, you'll want to move somewhere else. So I want to make sure that the quality of life for the residents, for the business owners, that we like where we live and we want to maintain where we live. And also, I'm excited about the growth of Centerville. I visit Center Park. I go to the events there. The Houston County Public Library. I'm an avid recycler. So on Saturdays, if you've been to Centerville Recycle Center, you've seen me there. So I believe in those things. Another thing is Robins Air Force Base. No matter the size of your community, it is important that we support and we maintain our partnership with Robins Air Force Base, and I'm committed to that. So again, I enjoy living in Centerville. I want the residents to have an open communication with council and mayor. I'm also, I believe in fostering relationships with your working family. And so I do a lot of John Maxwell training. So the importance of fostering those relationships is important, because you can disagree, but it's also learning how to healthily agree to disagree. And so I want to thank everybody for being here. If I were not up here, I would be back there, because I'm one who believes in educating our community. I've helped put on forums before, so thank you all for your time. Thank you all for your attention. And early voting starts October the 14th, and if you don't do it then, November the 4th, elect Valicia Lisa Lowe, Centerville City Council, Post 3 on all ballots. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Tori Durham Jones, and I am a resident. Well, I grew up here in Middle Georgia. I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I once served over the committee for the Advocate for Social Justice, where we encourage people to vote. We educate people about the importance of voting. And so a question that I have for the candidates for Centerville, I know that the Economic Development Director position is currently vacant. And so my question to you all are, what are the top economic development priorities or challenges you like to see addressed over the next 3 to 5 years? And how do you see the Economic Development Department aligning with those goals?
Could I- If I can, you may have to remind me you have a couple parts. So some of the things I want to make sure is that we continue, first of all, fill that position. It is vital. I remember when Centerville had the position there. It's important to the city of Centerville. So economic growth is important in that we bring more businesses to our community that can help drive and bring in revenue. So that's important to me. And then also, how do we ensure fairness among the people that are already there, the businesses that are already there, the city employees that are already there, so they can sow back into the community as well.
Thank you.
I would just like to see more businesses come in. Like Ms. Lowe said, we do need to fill that position. It is a need to help things move smoothly in the economic department of Centerville. So just more businesses coming in. I mean, we have residential, so now we need the business side.
Yeah, I would just say that, and I appreciate what Councilman Byrd said earlier about the plan we have for mixed-use development and, with loft housing over above it and all that, and that's all great. I will say that plan has been in place since I ran for office the first time in 2015, I think. So that plan's like taking Advil because its back hurts. That plan is so old, it needs to be updated, it needs some growth. And so my position would be, before we hire an economic development director, we need to make sure that the mayor and council have a unified vision to give them, because what we've done in the past is hired somebody and say, go develop some economics. We haven't really given them much to do. It's the role of the mayor and council to direct the department heads as to, here's the vision for the city, go carry it out. Because what happens on the back end is, when mayor and council give them no vision, we let the department heads run ahead with the best plan they can come up with, and if it succeeds, mayor and council take credit. And if it fails, the department heads take the blame. And you're talking about making sure that we have equitable representation. That's not a good way to treat your employees, and it's not a good way to lead a city, so we can do better. Thank you.
Councilman Wright kind of stole my answer there, but he's absolutely correct. We as mayor and council, we have to provide the vision, and as he said, the plan that we have has been around for quite some time, and we have made some strides forward in that. We did some zoning things in the past couple of years that will help us move forward, but we need to absolutely, I 100% agree, we need to update our plan. We need to move forward. One idea that I had was we have some property that has not been developed right around our city center, and if we can't get private developers to come in and develop that property, then it may be time for the city to purchase that property ourselves and work forward from there. That is just one possible idea. We also absolutely need to make sure that the moves that we make in that direction are fair to everyone involved, including the current property owners, the citizens, the employees, and everything else. We absolutely need to fill that position, but as Councilman Wright said, we need to have a vision and a plan first so that we can give them something to do.
Very good. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if we can get my mic turned on. Thank you so much. Mr. Wright, Mr. Howard, and Ms. Lowe, thank you so much for your thoughtful answers, for being here tonight. If you want to go ahead and exit to your right. One candidate from Perry, but she is fabulous. She is
Hey y'all, thank you so much for having me tonight. My name is Dr. Amy Faust, and I am running for Perry City Council District 1, Post 1. I am a lifelong Perry resident. I am a very proud graduate of Perry High School, go Panthers, and I'm a public educator who has dedicated my career to helping students and families thrive in our area. I'm here tonight because I believe that Perry's future should be built with people at the center, not politics, not profit, but people. I would like to share just a little with you about why I'm running for Perry City Council. Perry is growing, and growth is good, but only if it's done responsibly. By this, I mean that we have got to put infrastructure first. Roads, utilities, stormwater systems should be in place before our projects go up. We have got to ensure that the cost of our growth is fair. Taxpayers should not carry the burden in utility fees, and that has to stop right now. Those of you who are not from Perry probably don't know a lot about my town and the inner workings of our fees, but I bet you all know we have a ridiculous water bill. Yeah, I'm seeing some nods. Yep, that's right. Mine was $62 this month before I used one drop of water. So, we need, yeah. Everybody's like, hey, Centerville sounds better and better. We need a solid plan for growth that includes balanced projects, a healthy mix of housing, businesses, and community spaces, which will make Perry a perfect place that people want to live. I'm running because I want Perry to stay affordable, to stay livable, and to stay inclusive for every single family who calls it home. And let me be clear, I firmly believe that we can meet these goals. We do not need leaders who sit quietly, who go along to get along, or who only show up at events. Perry needs leaders who are present, who are engaged, and who are willing to ask hard questions. I will be that council member who doesn't just show up at meetings, but shows up for people, kind of like I am tonight. Sorry, I just had to do it. I will listen, I will question, and I will fight to make sure that every single resident in my district has a voice in decisions that impact all of us. My promise is simple. You will see me, you will hear me, and you will know that your voice is heard and it matters. Downtown Perry is beautiful, and I'm proud of the growth that we've seen there. Our small, locally owned businesses are truly the heartbeat of our economy, and I will always support them. But Perry is more than just a shopping and a restaurant district. Its most valuable resource is our people, our families who raise our children here, like I do with my children, seniors like my parents who built this community, and neighborhoods where neighbors still look out for one another. In District 1 especially, we have vibrant communities that deserve the same investment and attention as our downtown. That means sidewalks and streetlights when they're missing. It means well-planned parks and recreation that reflect the input of the community members in those neighborhoods. It means addressing stormwater problems. It means ensuring our infrastructure can sustain our community members, not constantly fail due to needed improvements. My priority is clear. I will champion growth in business, but above all, I champion the good people of Perry, because if growth does not serve our families, then it is not the right kind of growth. I also want to recognize something important tonight. Many of you here are not from Perry. You're not Perry residents. You will not vote in this election. But my challenge to you is this: your presence here matters. It matters because what happens in Perry affects all of us, right? What happens in Centerville affects Perry. What happens in Warner Robins affects Centerville and affects Perry, because we are all in this together, right? You've heard so many people say, get out there and vote, get out there and vote. And when people say, hey, Amy, how's the campaign going? I say, I really need people to go vote, right? Because we need people. We need people to be actively engaged in our government, in our city government, in our state government, in our national government. That is so very important. As a high school teacher, I can tell you that the youth of today are ones that say that they feel like their voice is not heard. And I look at them and I think, how is that possible? You've got your phone in your pocket, you're texting constantly, you're calling constantly. I'm like, how are you not heard? I haven't seen that you've hushed, right? but they don't feel heard because of the meaning behind what's going on. They need to feel locked in. They need to feel like they're part of something important. And every single voter that goes to the polls, whether they vote for me or you or whomever, when they go to the polls, that's their voice, and they're making themselves heard. And we've got to do that for our kids, right? For our seniors and for our communities. I'm Amy Faust. I'm running for Perry City Council District 1, and I'm so honored that you gave me the time to listen tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Faust. Do we have any questions for this moment? We're going to get them, Mr. Johnson. We have a question right over here. Just a second, we're going to get the, here, let me, so we can hear
Let
you.
me go to him.
Yes. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, fair enough. We'll see where we can work that in. Okay, go ahead, you have a question there?
Hi, Dr. Faust. I'm a Perry resident, lifelong Perry resident, grew up there and returned back 10 years ago. And just in the last 10 years, there has been a lot of growth. And my question is, as this growth is creating such pockets, it's not contiguous, it is not to where the people that are moving into our community feel like they're part of our community because there are so many different islands. How do you see that that is an area that you can make a difference in?
So Perry has grown, for those of you that aren't aware, from about 20,000 people to about 26,000 people, which is about 49% in 10 years. And for this English major, y'all should be really impressed with that math. But no, our growth has been just wild. The city has annexed property and annexed property and annexed property. And like you've said, yes, it has caused a lot of pockets. I feel like probably the best thing we can do is really go back to our strategic plan and take a good look at what we are doing to have a solid plan for development, right? Not just growth for the sake of growth, but to really have a plan so that we can do those balance projects that I mentioned, so that we can have interconnectivity with our neighborhoods, so that when you live in Perry, whether or not you're in District 1, District 2, or District 3, you realize that you are in Perry and that you are part of something very special. So feeling like we need to look at that plan, we need to make sure that our plan makes sense, and it makes sense for all of our residents, and that every district has representation that's listening is important.
Thank you so much, Ms. Faust. Okay, another round of applause, and if I could have our Warner Robins council members, thank you. If I could have our Warner Robins candidates,
I have
please.
one more of that. One question.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We had one more question, Ms. Faust. I'm sorry, we have another Perry question real quick. Okay.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
All right, I'm a Perry resident, and I've been living in Perry for 2 years. And in my subdivision, when we had a meeting, we all was concerned because of our water bill. My water bill starts at 100.
Yes, ma'am, mine too.
It starts at 100. It's more than 100. So what can they do to lower it? Because when I lived in Kathleen, I was paying $45 to $50.
Right. Well, I have a friend of mine who lives in one of our neighboring municipalities, and I said, would you send me your water bill? Because I'm trying to figure out why is mine so high, why is yours so low? And I'll tell you, when you look at the itemized portion of it, you notice that there's fee after fee after fee after fee. A fire protection fee to the tune of about $26, I believe. You've got stormwater usage fees, sewage consumption fees, and when you look at our impact fees, which is what developers pay when all of these beautiful new neighborhoods are coming in, right? And a lot of this new building, what's happening is Perry has not actually acted on a rate fee study to adjust the impact fees that the developers pay when they build in our city limits. So when you hear things like $50 million wastewater expansion in East Perry, what happens there is our fees are being raised 3 to 7% every few months to cover the cost of debt service on those expansions. And yes, isn't that fun?
It is, because I haven't
Yes,
ran
ma'am.
my irrigation that much. And I mean, I just paid a bill for like $140.
Yes, ma'am. My
And that was
sewage
just for the month
consumption
of
this month.
due in October. And I'm like, wow.
It's a lot. My
mean-
sewage consumption was more than my water consumption this month. I'm an English teacher, not a plumber, but I'm letting you know that was confusing, right? But we've got to look at that, and there are ways that other municipalities handle their fire protection. They still have beautiful fire facilities. They are well protected, right, without double taxation on their residents, and that has got to stop now, and that is my number one. If you'll grab one of my cards off that table over there, you'll
Sure
see that
will.
is number one on my list of things to address.
Because my
So-
home was larger in Kathleen than it was that it is in Perry, but it's like that water bill, wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you both so very
Thank
much.
you.
Okay. And if I could have our final panel of candidates, Warner Robins, please come to the stage. Yes. All of our Warner Robins candidates, please. All right, our final panel for this evening. We're going to go ahead and get started. 6 minutes, and the timer starts now.
All right, everybody, I'm Fabian Velasquez. I'm running for mayor of Warner Robins. And a little bit about me, I'm a 24-year-old resident of Warner Robins. I'm Perry born. I've lived here my whole life. Keith Lawrenson was actually my principal at Russell Elementary way back when. And this community means a lot to me. And one thing that I'm really upset about is that it continues to grow away from itself. So I know that during the debate, the mayor bragged about how we're all proud that the city continues to grow, and I know that's something that even, and the Perry candidate said also, but I'm actually against this type of growth. I think I'm the only candidate on this stage that has said anything about this. What I see is happening is that as the city continues to expand outside, it is completely neglecting its own residents. You don't want your government to grow away from you. You want it to focus on yourself. And so as the city continues to grow, you're going to see things like your water bill get expensive. This is already happening in Perry. It's happening all over the country. My ideas aren't new. I am a fan of a traditional development pattern, which it's really been historical for thousands of years to be that way, except until the 50s. Because now our zoning, the way it works, is you have things like parking minimums, you have things like minimum setbacks, and you have things that require you to build in the way that the city wants you to build. But I come from a business background, and right out of high school I was a barber. And I grew up in a poor neighborhood in a trailer park where everybody there was low income. And one thing that we had in that community, or one thing that we had in that neighborhood was a community. Because the people inside that trailer park had businesses that they weren't supposed to run. We had barbers there. We had stores coming out of trailers. And we had people selling tacos. And we had people selling ice cream from their homes. And because of that, everybody in the community knew each other. And we were actually able, everybody that had a business was able to make it out of the trailer park. But the sad thing about it is they left their community. And they move into these suburbs where everything is so spread out and it's no longer walkable. So I want a walkable city. I want to live in a place that people know each other. And if we continue to expand, we're not going to get that. So my solution for the city of Warner Robins, because I'm seeing a lot of problems. We're seeing it with crime. We're seeing it with the shrinking middle class. And we're seeing it with just bad city development, that we need to fix all of this at the same time. With city development, we have to focus on building in. We have to change the zoning code. We have to change the building codes so that it is easier for people to start businesses here. Because I honestly, we don't need to invite businesses into Warner Robins. We already have those people here. We just need to allow them to do it. I want to see things like accessory commercial units. That's when you add something to your house so that you can run a business. I want to see accessory dwelling units so that I stop seeing all these apartments being built that necessarily are not bringing jobs in. They are only adding people and not jobs. If we have accessory dwelling units, now you can add an extra space on your own property that you can actually profit off of. And it's you profiting, it's not some developer. Now, with the shrinking middle class, this is happening. I am seeing family I know, friends I know, moving south, and that's why we're seeing Veterans Middle School being built. And that's because the north side of Warner Robins is no longer desirable. And this is an incredible issue. If we don't fix this, the city will go bankrupt. Now, our budget, because we have expanded so long, we are focusing on building new infrastructure when what we should be doing is focusing on maintaining the infrastructure we have now. That's why we're seeing a lot of water leaks. We're seeing that the shortages in the police department because now we have to take care of so much area. So as opposed to almost all the candidates, I'm more of a center-focused guy. And with the crime, we have to attack that hard. I know that there's debate over whether it's rising or not, but the thing that matters the most is what are people seeing and what are people feeling. And people are feeling this happening. They're seeing that crime is coming up, and I want to attack that head on. I'm a broken windows theory kind of guy. I think that we need to attack even the smallest infractions, and if we do so, we can focus on taking care of the problem as a whole. So I'm Fabian Velasquez, and I'm running for mayor of Warner Robins. I would appreciate it if you all took the time to look into me, and I'm gonna stay around and talk to everybody. I respect your vote, and I've come here ready to articulate what I want to see to all of you, and thank you.
Good job.
And go ahead.
All right, thank you. I'll move it down. I'm going to stay seated if that's okay with you guys. My name is Keith Lauritsen, and I've been on City Council on Robbins Post 3 for 12 years. And so I'm running for another 4 years, and luckily we're all actually unopposed, so that's a blessing, so we'll be able to serve another 4 years. When I was contemplating and praying about serving again, one of the main things that kept coming to mind and coming to my heart is that I felt like we had a lot of unfinished work to get done. And I really, especially over the last 4 years, it's been a pleasure working with this mayor, my fellow councilmen. We have been able to accomplish a great deal, but we still have a lot to do. And so I felt like at least another 4 years, we could get a lot more done. And the great things that we've already started, we want to see them through, and we want to continue working together. And so I'm really excited about that. Some of the things that I'm most proud of. When I first ran for city council 12 years ago, my greatest passion then was recreation. And over these last 12 years, we've done some phenomenal things with our recreation department. One of those things was building a new recreation department. And as Mr. Velasquez was saying about the north side of town, so many people wanted us, they were fighting against us locating the new recreation department on North Houston Road where it's at. And we continue to stand our ground and say, no, it needs to be there. We need to do everything we can to continue building infrastructure on the north side of town. Now, my district is on the south side, but I'm just as passionate about the north side of town as I am anything, you see, because I'm a lifelong Warner Robins resident. I grew up here. Mr. Holmes and his beautiful, wonderful wife were my teachers in school. I saw Pastor Kervin play football many Friday nights, and I was amazed. This guy was a tremendous athlete. And so the connections that I've had here over these last 61 years have been a blessing. It's made me who I am, at least the good part of me. And so I feel an obligation to continue to serve. A couple other things that I'm proud of. You know, the 12 years that I've been on council, we have not raised the millage rate one time. And we've just about, and every time the assessments go up, most of the times we've been able to roll it back. And I think that is a huge accomplishment for a city the size of ours. Because we're dealing with the same inflation and all the issues and raising in pay, one of the other things I'm very proud of was we were able to raise our employees' pay a phenomenal 35%, well deserved, and did that without raising taxes. We actually rolled it back. That's amazing. So kudos to our mayor and the financial department and all that they were able to do. And so that's just been so exciting for me. Our fees are the lowest of anybody around Middle Georgia. Our millage rate's one of the lowest. Our fees continue to be the lowest. We've done those studies, those utility studies, and we followed the prescription, and we've really not raised those a whole lot. So just really blessed to be a citizen of Warner Robins. And I feel like our greatest days are ahead. I truly do. Though I may not be around much longer, who knows? But I really want to make sure that our community continues to thrive, because I have children, and hopefully one day I'll have some grandchildren. And I want to leave a community that they could grow up in like I did. That would be a blessing to me, where we have a great city, a great recreation department, and yes, a great school system. Kudos to Dr. Rogers for continuing that great work. Do y'all realize how blessed we are to be in Warner Robins and Houston County? Oh, man, I just can't believe that we don't have 100% of the people voting, because we are so blessed, and we want to continue that. Do we have improvements to make? Absolutely. And I believe the mayor and my fellow councilmen are committed to doing that, at least for the citizens of Warner Robins. And I want to applaud Centerville and their elected officials, and Perry and our county officials and all those, because we work together. We do a lot of projects together, and we want to continue to do that. And so I'm looking forward to doing this for at least 4 more years. And Mayor, Lord willing, we'll get it all done. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Councilman. I feel like I'm in council meeting. Thank you, Councilman. And before I start speaking, I have to always acknowledge my family. I have my mother here, and my son, my 8-year-old son, Lane. Those are my hearts. But then I also have my other family. My father's outside too, but my other family who are sitting here with me today, I call them my partners in progress, the gentlemen who sit to my left and my right. But then we also have Councilman Charlie Bibb in the audience and Councilman Larry Curtis. And we are a family. Council and I are a family, but we in Warner Robins, we're a family. And that's how we lead in this city. We lead with humility. We lead by putting people first, people over power at all times. And we lead with integrity. So before I start talking about what I've done, I want to talk about why I decided to run in the first place. When I ran for office in 2021, I ran because I wanted Warner Robins to be the city that I'd want to have as my forever home. I'm a proud graduate of Northside High School. I grew up on the north side of Watson, the Eagles. I grew up on the north side of Watson, Air Force brat, moved around a few places before I got here. And I knew I was going to seek higher education and leave. And I wanted to come back home. Many of my classmates decided not to come back home, and I wanted to figure out why is that? Well, there's a number of reasons why, but that's also the reason which gave me an opportunity to run. I want Warner Robins to have a city center. I want Warner Robins to have community events. I wanted to see Warner Robins free of lawsuits. I wanted to see us as the shining beacon of light in Middle Georgia, and that's why I ran for office. I ran for office because I am a servant leader, and I put you before me. And every day that I've been in this office, I've proven that. I've proven many things that I ran on the first time, and I don't want to have to repeat it. But that's why I say promise is made, promise is kept. I've been true to my word that I gave you in 2021 when some of you didn't even know my name. You didn't know my face. You didn't know anything about me, but you chose to believe in me. And I thank you for that. And I've worked every day to make you proud. And I feel like we've done a good job doing so. So what have we done in Warner Robins? Progress. We've done progress, we've done collaboration, we have done excellence, and we still have work to do. We've come a long way, and we have a great plan ahead of us. We were able to do things that they thought would never be done, especially not in 4 years, in a 4-year term. So when it comes to downtown, investments into the north side of town, we have made a significant investment by breathing new life into our commercial circle area, which all of us want to see revived. We've made significant investment into infrastructure, fixing the current ones in the ground, expanding the ones, and expanding out in areas where we need to serve. Multi-million dollars in investments that we have made. We've also invested in our children with creating an Eno Lab, which is an innovation hub. The first community-based one with Ed Farm and Apple, yes, your phone, Apple, a collaboration with them on the north side of town. We have grown the Peach County portion of our city by investing in the infrastructure, doing the economic development, doing the work, and making sure that we hold ourselves to a high standard so that companies want to invest in our city. We've worked very well with Peach County, making sure that these things come to fruition. When it comes to education, we're huge supporters of education, wanting to make sure we reach back and give to children who may not have an opportunity to experience things just because of their life circumstances. When it comes to crime, we've invested into a state-of-the-art technology system that has gotten world-renowned attention. We received 2 international Smart City Awards. This year, our second year receiving it, we were one of 4 cities in the United States for this very prestigious award. We expanded our footprint, we expanded our reach when it comes to public safety by investing into this system. But we've also done a great job with recruitment and retention because we're only about 20 shy of full force for our police department now. When I came in, we were way low. We've never been this close to having full force. Fire department, we are already at full force now because of recruitment and retention. So public safety is important, and we put our money, your money, where our mouth is, because 54% of our budget goes to public safety, which is pretty typical across the country. When it comes to housing, housing is something that's important to me. Housing that is workforce housing. Workforce housing, that's important. So that's why we've developed the plans for our downtown area and the downtown redevelopment zone, which goes all the way to Armed Forces Boulevard and down to Pleasant Hill, I think, to make sure we're bringing in housing that is suitable for young people who are trying to buy a house, people who work in the fire department, police department, the education system, in the hospitals, and the list goes on. Everyone can't afford $350,000 up for a house. But we're putting the work in, we have the plans established, and we're doing the work that needs to be done. So I can go on and on about the great things that we've done. The homeless Haven Hope House has been a godsend, and it'll be opening, I think, next month now. But we've done a lot of things, and we just want to continue what we started together. And that's what I intend to do when you vote for me November 4th. Thank you so much. I love all of you.
Wow, how do you follow that? Hi, everybody. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for being here tonight, as you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you came to hear us. My name is Derek Mack, and I'm currently on the ballot for Post 1 at Large for the city of Warner Robins. With that being said, I'd like to acknowledge my wife, Tony Mack. She's here supporting us as well. I'm so proud to serve in this capacity as an at-large councilman. I'm currently on the ballot unopposed, but I don't take that for granted. What that says to me is that the citizens and the constituents of the city trust what we're doing. We have 3 people on council that are unopposed, so that says something in itself. We're doing something right. We have a collective bargaining legislative body that agrees to disagree when necessary, but we'd agree to push this city forward because each one of us love this city in our own way, and we're just as passionate about each other as we are for the citizens in this city. We sincerely are. Talking about the north side of town, there's always this talk about neglect. I grew up on Ignico Drive, Rosewood Apartments, apartment A6. Ignico Drive, Rosewood Apartments A6. Me and my brother, Charlie Bibb, grew up in Rosewood Apartments. We love the north side of town. We're advocating to light up Green Street, make it a safe place for our kids to grow and play. We're an inclusive council and mayor. We are an extension of our mayor's vision. We've pushed this city beyond all boundaries of the past. Our city is growing because people want to be a part of what we're doing. When we go abroad beyond the boundaries of Warner Robins, they constantly communicate with us about how we're doing what we're doing. And we're just doing something unconsciously because we genuinely love serving the people. Each one of these councilmen posts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Councilman Curtis back there. We are liaisons to the people for City Hall. As I've said before, the streets of this city are the veins and the people are the blood. We're all accessible. If you don't want to know what's happening, it's because you don't want to know. Because we put it out there. This is the first, we got an app. How many people have the City of Warner Robins app? We never had that before. It gives you all the information you need, all of our events. We never had anything for our families to do before. Like I said, we're pushing this city beyond all boundaries of the past. This collective body is an extension of our mayor's vision. She works so hard. She works so hard, and she deserves another round of applause, and she deserves another term. I'm not here to make promises, but what I will be is your liaison for our truths. And with that being said, thank you for trusting me and my brethren at arms and our sister at arms, and continue to hold us accountable so that we can serve at our best at all times. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. I'm Clifford Holmes, and I want to start out by first of all saying I came here from Jacksonville, Florida in 1967, and I lived in Union Grove. I lived right down Union Grove until 1970. And then I moved to the north side of town, a side of town that I'm proud of. And people often ask, why do you stay there? I haven't had it recently, but it used to always be asked, Mr. Holmes, you can live wherever you want. Why are you still on the north side of town? Because I like the north side of town. My son, my daughter, my granddaughter, my grandson all went to school at Northside High School. My son said years ago, he was playing professional football at the time, when I get through playing ball, I'm coming back to Warner Robins. My daughter said, I'm not. Well, but she's in a profession that she can't get a job, couldn't get a job. She's in the entertainment industry. So there's no job here for her, you know? So that makes sense. But I am proud of the north side of town. Am I proud of the way it looks? No. Am I proud of how some of the people keep the yards, the homes, and what have you look? No. Someone stopped me about a month ago, and I was on a Sunday. I can tell you what day of the week it was. I came home and broken glass all in the front of my driveway. I parked on the grass, went in the house, took my coat off, got a broom and a dustpan, and got out in the middle of the street sweeping up glass. People stop and say, sir, you live here? I said, yeah. You sweeping up glass? I said, it's in front of my house. I want my place to look right. I don't have to wait for somebody to come pick up my glass or pick up the trash. I got an old truck that maybe once a month now. I used to do it once every week. I would load up paper, whatever I had to go to the happy hour, and I would haul it to happy hour. And if there's anything else, when I pick up the trash in front of my house, if there's any in front of my neighbor's house, I pick that up too. You know, I'm not too proud. I'm a proud person because I was raised to be proud, even though we didn't have anything. But we didn't know we didn't have anything during that time. You know? I am proud, and I will continue to be that. And I want to say, so I wrote some things down, and I want to give you a little bit about me because this is my 16th year on council. And when I ran for council in 2006, first of all, I didn't know you got paid. I ran, and they told me I need to go up to, not down, up to the office, whatever they call the office at that time. And I said, for what? To fill paperwork out. What paperwork? That's for your salary. What salary? You didn't know we got paid. That wasn't it. I was approached in the 90s about running for city council. I said, I'm an educator, and that's first. Now, when I get through with that, if I have that desire, that yearning, then I'll do it. And as it turned out to be, I became the second Afro-American city councilman for the city of Warner Robins. You know? The second one. The person in place, Mr. Clements, Grady Clements, many of you know him, came to me. They wanted me to run against him. And I said, no. He put himself out there to be a servant to the people. And I'll not interrupt that. And I went to him and I talked to him. I said, now, I've been asked to run against you. I chose not to. But when you get tired, let me know. And one Saturday morning, he called my house. He said, can I come down? I said, sure. He was on one end of King Drive. I was on the other end of King Drive. He came down. He said, I'm tired. Are you ready to take over? I looked at my wife. She said, go ahead. So I did run.
1 minute?
I did run. And I have been nothing but pleased. In 2008, I think it was, I became the mayor of Warner Robins. 2008. A lot of you don't know that. You know, because I don't talk about it. I don't get nothing more for it than I did then. I was a servant then, and I'm a servant today. I'm a servant leader. I'm a retired educator of 42 years. I told Mr. Hennett, those of you remember Tony Hennett, Principal Warner Robins, superintendent. On my 30th year, I said, Tony, this is my 30th year. He said, congratulations. I said, Tony, you don't understand, it's my 30th year. He said, congratulations. I ended up doing 12 more years after that, you know, because I like what I'm doing. It's not a job when you're doing what you do for the people. Thank you for
so
this
much.
opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our Warner Robins candidates. Do we have any questions? Okay, Mr. Johnson, here we go. We got the microphone. We have 2 quick questions here, and then we're going to wrap things up.
Hello. Thank you very much. My name is Fred Wilson. I came here with the military, and I've been here now for 42 years, and I love everything about the city of Warner Robins in Houston County. What I want to say, first of all, I want to commend all of you all for what you all do for our city and everything that you do. You've continued to help the city to grow, and I just wanted to continue that. There are some areas that you have mentioned, the north side of town, this side of town, which is where I live here. I want to see it grow, but what I want to know is there anything that can be done about for citizens who own property where the trees are starting to grow over the streets and become a danger if a limb fall, it'll fall on a child or fall on somebody's vehicle or just fall in the streets and people can't go. So I just want to know, is there anything you can do for those properties or do for those citizens who own that property to get them cut, or if the city cuts it, charge them for the cutting of it. But I want the city to continue to be safe in everything that you do. So I'm applauding you for what you have done, and those little small things, I don't want them to add up to anything large. Just continue to do what you're doing, and thank you all very much for what you do.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. That's a public servant, too. How many years did you serve on school board? 28 years school board member. Mr. Wilson, that's one of the things that we talk to citizens about a lot, about not only just about things like trees hanging over, but grass being too high, bushes overgrown, people running a car repair shop out of their front yard. You know, those kinds of things are things that we constantly deal with. And we've recently really beefed up our code enforcement, and we placed it back under the police department. And we're also in the process of appointing a code enforcement board to come in and to hear a lot of the issues where we have citizens that have been cited for violations, and instead of it having to go to the local city court, it would go before this board who could more quickly get this thing dealt with. And so a lot of it is going to be mandated. Far as overgrown trees and limbs, there's stuff in our code and our ordinances that does address that. I would suggest you get with one of us on specific addresses of where these locations are, and somebody can come out and take a look at it. And if our code enforcement needs to act upon it, they will certainly do that, because we want to stay committed to that. Every little thing adds up. I think it was Mr. Mack and the mayor was talking about how letting little things turn into big things, and I think you mentioned it too. And so we're passionate about that. About keeping our city clean, and Clifford had the greatest point. If it's in your front yard, take care of your business. If it's out in the street in front of your yard, take care of business. And some people aren't able to do that, but if it's your neighbors and they're not able to do it, go help them out. And then if all else fails, call the city, and I bet we can do something. Thank you.
Just want to piggyback on what you just said, and I want to recognize Mr. Fred Wilson, who lives in my district. And he's the kind of neighbor that you'd like to have. If he sees something wrong, if he can't take care of it, he'll call you. And he has done that many times. He calls me. We have done Russell Parkway entrance into the base I don't know how many times. Last month, or month before last, I had Public Works to come out in that fence from Othelake Boulevard, but it's really gone past Othelake. I had them to come out, and if you rode by there during that time, they cleaned I look at it, they got the hair out of the hair. You know, they did a great job cleaning up our employees, and these are our employees. They treat me just like they treat you, and I treat them like they're my family. They are family. But I just didn't want Mr. Wilson to leave out of here not knowing. He served on the Blight Committee for a short time. We had committees, and we still have. That was some initiative of the mayor. And she brought it before the council, and we went along with that because it was the right thing to do. You talk about the village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise this city. It takes a village to keep this city right. And you cannot ride by and see the trash, especially if it's in front of your house. One other thing, the Green Street alumni. We talked about the sports complex. We also had the Wyndham Way Community Center, I call it, in the Dolores Tolliver Park. I was told by, unfortunately, an educator, Clifford, y'all don't need to spend no money putting no park over there, no gym over there. I said, I beg your pardon. I said, and notice I hesitated because what came across my mind wasn't nice, but I wasn't going to be that kind of person. I've never been, and I'm not going to start being now. We will take care of you, and we're asking you to come out on November 2nd and take November 4th to take care of us. Thank you.
I believe we have one more question, ma'am. Do you still have your question?
Oh,
yes. Ray, what's that? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think we all supposed to have an opportunity to answer questions. There's an old song called "Sweep Around Your Own Front Door." My neighbor lives down the street from me. She's an older woman. She's elderly. I go cut her grass every week. We have to hold each other accountable, and that's the one thing I like about the Green Street Alumni Crew. They hold that neighborhood accountable. If they don't see something right with their neighbor, we're going to get a call from Gigi. She keeps us straight. She holds us accountable. That's what we're here for. If you see an issue with something like that, please reach out to one of us so we can get with our city administrator and our public works officials, because these guys are busy every day. And I just want to say thank you, as we're a team to push the city forward and to keep it clean. Thank you.
So your question was about what can be done if, let's say, a tree limb is growing from your property onto the street. Now, the only answer that was actually given was by Councilman Lawrenson, and he said that code enforcement would force you, basically, to take care of it. Is that accurate?
Depending on the ordinance and how it's written and what needs to be done.
Okay. And as a matter of fact, I agree, that's the situation we're in. The truth is, we're not a rich city. A rich city should be able to take care of what's falling onto its city streets. That's a public area. Now, I'm disappointed to say that I didn't really hear any solid answers throughout this entire thing from the Warner Robins area. I heard a lot of platitudes about how great things are and stuff like that. We need to ask 3 questions: what, why, and how. What is wrong with the city? Driving here, you saw right on, I forget what the street name is, but you see businesses that are empty. You see blight, and you see what is necessarily the middle classes leaving away. If we want to be able to handle that business for you, because it is on the public street, we need more money. Now, how do we get the money? We do it by changing the zoning code, because right now we just don't have the money. There's a reason we're making budget cuts, and yes, it's a state issue. They're making us do some of that, but we need to have a plan for how we can get to a point where we are taking care of you. And if we aren't making that money, we're going to put more responsibilities on you. That's why we have cut some services. We're now making you bag your own leaves, and we're also making changes to the waste management, and those changes are necessary. I'm not against what they've done. I think that they're doing what they can, but there's something that can be done that hasn't changed, and that is looking at why we are seeing these issues coming up. We're seeing it because we don't have proper development. We aren't allowing this development to happen, and that's going to affect everything. That's going to affect our pockets, that's going to affect how safe you feel, and that's going to affect the future of Warner Robins and whether your kids even want to live here or your grandkids. We have a very low retention rate. Young people leave the city en masse. And so why is that happening? It's because we are not allowing them to create the city in their image. The north side of town has been very stagnant. The only sort of developments we see are things that the city is putting down. But the city isn't in the business of making businesses. It's in the city of creating a safe environment where people want to go and live. And so how do we do that? Well, it hasn't been happening in Warner Robins on the north side of town for a long time. So something is wrong, because there's cities all over the world that have lasted hundreds and thousands of years. But Warner Robins, for some reason, 75 years seems to be its limit. Where now, instead of fixing its problems on the north side, where we're seeing businesses not moving in, we're seeing people moving out. Instead of us fixing our city, we expand outward. And then we are the ones, or when I say we, the city as a government puts down the things that are meant, the resources into fixing issues that really should be kind of done on their own, naturally progressing. And natural progress means taller buildings a lot of the time. It means denser development, and it means smaller incremental growth. And we're just not seeing that because a lot of the times it is illegal. This is something that is happening all over the country. I'm not the one with a lot of smart ideas. I just know that there's an issue happening all around America, and we're losing a lot of money because we're building more infrastructure rather than maintaining ourselves. And as the city continues to expand, it just gets less efficient to run these services. So, you know, I hope that one day we can get to the point where the city is fixing these problems for you instead of putting the responsibility back out onto the resident.
We're going to have to did everyone get an opportunity to answer that question? Do you want one more? No? Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up from there. Or Mr. Johnson, because I've been told that we need to wrap it up. I know we have a lot of young kids here who have school in the morning and parents who have to get to work. It is almost 7:30.
Well, I thank the president of the Houston County NAACP for allowing me this moment to speak to all of you. I will do a quick job as far as announcing myself. I'm Robin Jackson, the person that is running for the city of Perry, Maryland. I have been disrespected even tonight, but I'm running for the mayor of the city of Perry, Georgia, as a write-in candidate, meaning that only thing you have to do is it used to be just write it in, but now you have to either key it in or type it in. So if you live in the city of Perry, I am a qualified candidate. And I have been disrespected by the news media. They don't even mention my name, which you don't have to because it's not going to be on the ballot. But as a write-in candidate, a qualified write-in candidate, if I get enough vote as a qualified write-in candidate, I will become mayor. And just a little on me, I'm going to wrap it up as soon as possible, and then I thank the NAACP president. I used to be the Houston County NAACP president also. I've been living in Perry all of my life for 72 years. I am the one who brought the Georgia National Fairground as for by me running for office ever since 1977. The Georgia National Fairground, it was my idea of presenting it to the community. And it's not what I want, but like I said, we're still working on that. I wanted something that would have permanent rides. Instead of how they're doing it now, they do not have that. But as I'm going to give the mic back over to the president, again, I thank him for allowing me. I'm the one who was, along with Mr. Larry Holmes, the NAACP president, passed to the districts in Perry. In Perry, it was at large, and we never could get anybody elected. And be thankful for me and Mr. Holmes is that we district the city off so that we can get some blacks elected into office. And I know.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for your time and your words. Do we want to do one more question, or do we want to go ahead? Yes, we had the lady over here in the yellow. I saw her hand go up, so if we can maybe get her question in. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. You've been fantastic.
Hi, my name is Marion Bradley, and as a business owner on the north side of town, I really appreciate what you guys have been doing on City Council. I appreciate you building us up and doing the downtown development. I want to say thank you so much for that, and especially I'm happy to hear about Pleasant Hill Road getting redone. That's awesome. But I have a question. You know, you're doing the homeless shelter. That's amazing as well. But my other question would be, I've noticed that I've been hearing a lot about the Warner Robins Housing Authority, that people have been that have homes have been having trouble in their homes, such as maybe mice, maybe mold, some things going on, and I haven't heard that addressed. Maybe I just haven't seen it, so I was just wondering if anyone has looked into that or what's going on with that.
Thank you.
I'd like
ahead.
to
Go
say
ahead.
something about that. You're right. There's a lot of issues with the housing authority that we have right now. And on the north side of town, a lot of our residents are in the housing authority because, I mean, as long as I've been as long as I've been here alive, I've noticed that I'd always drive by Davis and there's these buildings that all look the same, just the brick buildings. And those are fairly old. Now, this is part of my platform that I'm tired of seeing more things being built when we aren't maintaining the things that we have now. Now, I don't know how accurate those news reports are, but I have seen those reports about the mold and the bad state of these buildings. If that's the case, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. That's a serious thing. And so we're building more of these. That to me just makes no sense. Because Africa Porter from the Housing Authority herself said that more people are moving from outside of the city into the city specifically to receive help from the Housing Authority. Now, I don't see how that benefits anybody in the city. What would benefit people in the city is if we upgraded the ones that we already have. If we allowed for our residents here in the city to maybe develop their property so that you build an extra room or maybe an extra accessory dwelling unit that's like a tiny house in your backyard. That way you can now rent to someone that you want to rent to and you make money. There's more housing in the city and it just makes it easier for a city to grow in smaller increments. And that's honestly the best path for a city to take. Now, I'm gonna hand the mic over to them, but really the question is, why are we building more when we could be fixing what we have? I don't, if I can only feed one person, I'm not gonna worry about feeding 5 more people. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand it over.
Okay.
All right, and is it okay if I close it out for us?
Go ahead, yeah.
All right, I'll make this really quick, and thank you so much for doing this for us. It's always a pleasure to see you in person. We always see you on the screen, so let's give it up for the infamous Lori Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you. Honored to be here.
Thank you. Well, to answer the question, and you make a good question, ma'am, but when it comes to the Housing Authority, City of Warner Robins, we collaborate with them, but they're completely separate from the city government. It's a completely separate agency, but we are aware that they're, it's older buildings, we need to do upgrades, and Housing Authority has been really good about doing some upgrades. And we actually have one of our board members from Housing Authority who is here, so thank you for your service as well, ma'am, and what you do for Housing Authority. But something that the city is doing to help the Housing Authority in the problems they're having with some of their units is we're empowering them to do more development, like the Woda Cooper development that's coming over right near one of their developments off of Davis Drive, off of Ignico. What we hope is that the new units will allow them to empty out some of the old ones so they can be torn down and then nicer ones can replace them. But we're not in the business of displacing families or homes. So we're not going to ever advocate for someone to take a housing unit down when people will be left homeless. So you have to be very strategic when you're doing these type of things through collaboration with the city. So that's what we're really focusing on, is helping them so they can get rid of the old ones and put new structures, but easily move those families who need it into nicer units while we restore the old. So with that, I do want to leave by saying Council and I have been elevating Warner Robins since we became one, and we're going to continue to do that. We believe that we are building a city for everyone, not just the north side of town, but also the south side, the west side, and the east side. We talk about the north side a lot just because that seems to be the subject of this election term. And it also is the oldest part of our community, which has been neglected over some years, just because we were created out of World War II, we were not supposed to exist. So there were no plans to really build a city center where our original downtown was. Everything sprawled out. But now we're going back to the basics. We're going back to building a downtown for us, which is going to help all the investments on the north side of town. We're getting developers coming down, looking at things all the time, not just multi-unit housing, but also single-family housing, workforce housing, row homes, townhomes, quads, condos. These are the things that we want to see in our community so that every one of us, if we want to, we can own a piece of property. You don't have to rent for the rest of your life. But that takes planning, that takes innovation, and that takes dedication, and that's what we're doing every single day, working for you and serving you. So integrity is important. Integrity means doing the right thing no matter who is listening and no matter who's watching. I lead with integrity. I don't tell stories, I don't tell lies, I don't make up false things like some people do. So when I tell you, do your homework, you are smart, you are intelligent, do your own homework, and if it doesn't sound right, if it doesn't match the smell test, then they're probably not telling you the truth. But we up here, the elected ones that are already in office, we've made it this far because we lead with integrity and compassion. And you're gonna keep getting that from us. So thank you for allowing us to serve you. And thank you for giving us one of the best jobs we never knew was that we were destined for. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Great.
All right.
Well, I thank you all the candidates. Are we good? Are we good? Okay. Thank you to all of our candidates. Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. Another question?
No question.
No
Just
question.
piggyback.
Okay.
I want to thank God for our mayor and our council because it's come a long way. It come a long way from them arguing with each other. Y'all already know that's what they used to do. And now they don't. They collaborate together and they get things done. Young man, I was on the candidate for the mayor. I was on the Blight Task Force. A lot of these empty buildings that you're seeing that you want to be fixed up, you got to go find the owners to them because most of them don't belong to the city. We went out and we found out where this blight area, most of it belongs to somebody that don't live here. We got to go and find them so they can come and do something with their building. But it's okay, the mayor them are working on some of that too. So you go dig a little bit more deeper and find out some more stuff, okay? That's all I got to say.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Oh, I'm sorry. If you'd like to go talk to her afterwards. Okay. We are really running out of time, and I've actually gone 36 minutes over what I was supposed to. So I appreciate everyone. I appreciate the candidates. As you saw, our candidates are very open to talking, so if you would like to talk one-on-one with them right now, that would be great. We have our musical guests, and we have some great food in the back, so please help yourself. Mr. Johnson, I don't know if you want to have the final word here. Here we go.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming out, everybody for showing up. Also, I want to thank, is Xandra anywhere around close? Yeah, well, I want to thank her for help for putting this program together and for the pastor for allowing her to use the facilities and everything. And I know we have a governor. I know we have a governor here, Yassiner, he came out. And I'm pretty sure he wants to talk to y'all, but I know the time is going. But if you want to pray us out, Pastor, and then we'll have a performance for you all.
All right. If I can have everybody's attention, God can hear, but I can't pray like that and really focus, so I need you to be quiet. Let's pray. God, our Father, we thank you for the events of this evening, for all of the participants. Now bless food that has been prepared and that we will share. Thank you for these candidates. Give us all a safe journey back to our homes and other places. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hello?
Excuse me, everybody. We're going to welcome our musical guest for the evening, Mike Clark Jr. Go. 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 You got to play the intro, no? Hand you the mic.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, check.
I go by the name of Mr. Colin Paul. I would like to introduce to you the eighth wonder of the world. He hails from Macon, Georgia, standing 6'4". He is the future of Southern soul and R&B. So right now, I need all the aunties to get up on your feet. It don't matter if you're 19 or if you're 80. Get ready. It's time to let the young bull go. We about to open the doors to Club Mike Clark.
Let's go. Mike, yeah. Oh, come on. Mike, yeah, come on. Yeah. Oh. Here we go. One, two, three. They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. Come on. They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. Come on. They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. Let me see you say. So hold on. Oh, stop right here. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Come on. Warner Robins, Georgia, how y'all feeling? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on. What? Come on. What's up? Like it, but I'ma keep on staring. Come on. They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. Oh, come on, come on. They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. Let me see you say. So hold on. We gonna start right here. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Now still, then turn. Come on. Now still, then turn. Come on. Now still, then turn. Now still, then Wanna ride this? Hold on. We gonna start right here. 1, 2, 3. So hold on. We gonna start right here. 1, 2, 3.
My ladies run this party hard.
Do my ladies run this
party hard.
Down there wanna rock it.
Country, they gon' party hard.
Come on, come on.
Down in the country, they gon' party hard.
1, 2, 3. Enemies is stepped in. Now stepped in. Now stepped in. Now stepped in. Hold on. We gonna start right here. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. Come on. They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. They don't like it, but
Yes,
I'ma
sir.
keep on staring.
Hold on. We gonna start right here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. Oh. I see you better at T. Oh. Come on. Here we go. 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 Do my. 1, 2. Down in the. Look, in the meantime, between time, we gonna shake it on time. I need to see everybody clapping. We gonna go clap. Y'all clap it up with me. Clap, clap. Clap, clap. Speed it up. Speed it up. Here we go.
Don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring. Let's go.
Come on.
They don't like it, but I'ma keep on staring.
Let me see you say. So hold on. We gonna start right here. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Now still, then turn. Now still, then. Now still, then. So hold on. We gonna start right here. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. We gonna start right here. 1, 2. Thank y'all so much. I go by the name of Mike Clark Jr.
What should I call it?
It's snap, bro. Hey, y'all, Mike Clark Jr. will be taking pictures over here by the left. So if you want your picture, go and grab a picture.
Energy made this one.
Oh, yeah, he's going to take a picture right to the right. Free Joy Exotic. Thank you to the NAACP for having us. Let's go, Jazz.
Good evening. I hope y'all are doing well tonight.
Jab, you gonna take pictures too in the front?
And I have the honor and privilege of serving the 1st District of Georgia. I want to start off by thanking Xander
food over there, Jab,
Armstrong
right
for
there
the
in line.
invitation. And I wish I could have attended the event tonight. I understand that many of y'all in the room tonight are mayors, a position I was proud to have held for the city of Pooler. To this day, it's the best job I've ever had, and I thank everyone involved in local government for your hard work and dedication, because I know those jobs are not easy. A little background on myself. I owned and operated my own pharmacies for over 3 decades. In fact, I still retain my pharmacist license today, giving it up for this gig. Being a pharmacist, I've made it a priority of mine to ensure those in more rural areas receive access to affordable quality health care. In fact, my bill, the Improving Care in Rural America Reauthorization Act, which just passed out of committee, would do just that by extending rural health care service outreach programs, which is one of the federal government's most successful rural health grant initiatives. As y'all may know, I'm currently running for the United States Senate, and I look forward to bringing my expertise to the upper house to serve the interest of all Georgians. And I truly mean all Georgians. Part of what makes this job so great is getting to work with people like y'all who are actively involved in your communities. The voice you bring and your dedication to improving your communities truly makes all the difference. All people, no matter what ethnicity, race, or religion, deserve the respect and acceptance of their peers, regardless of political beliefs. That's the foundation of any great community, and I commend all of you for engaging in that discussion in the name of making the world and Georgia a better place for everyone. Through our joint efforts and the power of community, we can build a stronger Georgia that works for everyone. Thank y'all to everyone for your time today.